So say that again.
It's interesting what we're seeing that's working for managers, branch managers, regionals,
Okay.
company owners, broker owners,
Okay.
big or small, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
We're finding some that the ones that have a solid strategy and process so they consistently execute, they're growing and having some of their best months ever. If that makes sense to you, but they have to have the systems and they have to implement and process, do it consistently, whether it be running their financials or running their sales teams and Salesforce and loan officers, whether it be recruiting. Um, but it makes a difference. I
Yeah.
hope.
So when you say strategies and process, tell me what you mean.
Well, I'll give you an example for growing your volume with your loan officers.
Okay.
I hope this makes sense, but it's really making a difference. Used to be we would just tell people to go make their calls and
Yeah.
whatever, and they could do it and be pretty successful. We still see a lot of that. What we're
Okay.
seeing a bigger kind of a 1-2 punch is if they do the DSP, and
Okay.
what we coach on is, from you, the DSP, making your calls regularly, 4 days a week, over 50 great contacts a week. But also with their calls, we've switched to stories. We started using these short 1 minute, 2 minute max stories. We've got about
Okay.
30 of them because the stories grab the brain and attention.
Yeah.
And the loan officers are reporting, yeah, it's getting me more attention. So they've got to do that. And they've got the manager as a leader, you've got to have that as a culture and get your team doing it. It can't be hit or miss. But if they do it week in and week out, after it doesn't take a long time, but 90 days, 4 months,
Yeah.
you really see volume. And then what we do to kind of like the 1-2 punch to emphasize it, to give it some compounding effect, is 3 social media strategies. And what I mean by that is, Carl, I'd love to hear what you see, but what we see is, well, the loan officers, they never get involved in the CRM. They never do anything, or they do the extreme other, and it's
Yeah.
all about social media, and they think they're going to get business from it, and they get little to none. I was just coaching one of the owners out in Phoenix, and one of the LOs, their volume's down, but they've been spending too much time in social media. But what we've been coaching on is 3 social media strategies. One that literally takes about an hour a month. The second one takes you an hour a week, and it's making your post to several platforms. And then the third strategy is 10 minutes a day on comments and so that again, you're building your brand, you're buying brain cells, you're you're getting recognition. But if that's all you did was the social media without the calls,
I did a
does that make sense? That's what I
it does. I did I do these master classes about once a month, once every 6 weeks, to for the general public, like these big, large Zoom meetings where we invite members and non-members alike. And the last one I did was on deep and wide, or actually better said, wide and deep, where you go wide and then you go deep. So wide would be email, text, video, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? Pick your flavor. And that's where you get people to know who you are. And then, but that without going deep, and deep is frankly the face to face, the one on one Zooms, the phone calls. If you do the wide without the deep, you're going to be starving. You can do the deep without the wide. You can do just the deep stuff without going wide and have success. It's just a little harder, because it's better or it's easier if when I'm calling on people, if they at least know my name or they know my face, even if we've never talked, I call it pre-indoctrinated. They're pre-indoctrinated to you as the loan officer before you make that first call, before they get that first pre-approval letter. That's good. The problem is when say, all right, go wide. Well, they get so caught up into that they never go deep. And I had one of the top loan officers in my over at the mortgage company, this on my team. Man, this lady was just knocking them. She was just really, really, really doing well for years. And then she got on this video kick, and everything's video and social media. And they look good, they're compelling. I think she does a fine job at it. But boy, if you look at her numbers, the month she started doing that, it started going down.
Yeah.
And it's been probably, I don't know, a year and a half that she's been doing that, and it's just I mean, she's doing okay, but she went from double digits down to low single digits. And
I believe it.
yeah, it's just, and dude, I see that happen over and over. We got a mortgage company in I think it's Knoxville that reached out to us to help their loan officers. Had the same problem that everyone went to this seminar of this social media guy, and maybe it was late. I don't know who it was, but he was just telling me the story. And they stopped prospecting. Everybody started doing the magic bullet thing, the or I call it magic beans. And the company suffered. And the owner called me up and said, "Man, we got a problem here. They forgot how to prospect.
Yeah, we
Let's get them back on." So anyway. Hey there. Hey, if you're loving the tips so far, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down there and then tap the little bell so that you never miss out on more free, cool tips coming your way. Also, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment beneath there. Let me know what you think or tell me what you'd like to hear next.
we see no, you're 100% right. We see it with our leaders all the time. And I know they'll go unnamed. There's another coaching program kind of promoting, oh, the making the calls is the old way. That's old hat.
Yeah.
Nobody does that anymore. And I feel bad for anybody because they're really misleading people. Yeah, the wide where it works for you well is when you go out, you're at an event, or you call somebody or
Hmm.
you're doing a class. Oh, Carl, I feel like I already know you, right? That you
You're
we hear
everywhere.
that all the time.
All the time.
And so I really have become a believer you need both, but you can't, I mean, literally, that's why we've got it down to 10 minutes a day, 1 hour a
Yeah.
week. And so if anybody wants to find out about those strategies, we can share more about them. But it's cool. I'll give you two great examples
Tell me.
of this work. And the two examples is one's a larger lender, one's a smaller
Okay.
operation. One lender up in the East Coast, Rick Riddle, Rick at
Oh,
Crown,
love Rick. Dude,
literally,
Rick was just at my house like 5 days ago.
he
Oh,
told
we
me,
had a blast. That
yeah,
is
he loved
one
it.
smart dude.
Oh, he's
That
really smart.
he's a
But
smart
what
guy
he
and a great team, like a great team.
But what he's done is he's put these processes. So they've got their social media and CRM working and a call system for their loan officers. And then what's that helped him do? He's gone from like 80 to 120 loan officers,
Crazy.
like over, I don't know, if 15 months or something
Yeah,
like
short
that.
short period of time.
But yeah, really, they're having some of their best months they've had since COVID. I mean, their volume has really increased. And then you take it, well, I'm just a small operation. Tom Gallagher, small operation down in Southern Alabama. Man, Tom and a couple guys, they were doing a couple loans a month. We got him on his strategy and making calls. Also, what he was promoting on his calls with the story and who he's
Mhm.
targeting along with social media, and he's been able to recruit 5 new loan officers, and he himself is closing 10 units plus his LO's production. So whether you're small or large, there's a way to do it and take you
Mhm.
to an increased volume and get a lot more scale and a lot more profit. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, you certainly you're exposed because you know the one of the groups that you lead over here is these like branch managers, division managers, company owners, very, very, very high level loan officers have a large team, and so you see what works, you know, and
Yeah.
it's just it's you know the top producer, everybody, you know, it's a and I'm sure I've said it here 100 times, but it never ceased to amaze me that these top producers, um, a lot of people think that, well, they, you know, it must be like Superman and Superwoman that becomes, you know, these top producers. And I'm just always struck by how normal, is that the right word? Average?
Yeah.
Just, you know, I mean, I'm not putting them down, but well, frankly, just like me and you, Kevin, they're just people. Like they're not Anthony Robbins or Oprah. They're just normal
Exactly.
people that they're normal people that have an extraordinary calendar. You know, that's really what it is. And so it never ceases to amaze me that they're just like there's nothing special. You know,
Yeah.
it's their activity is what's special, not necessarily. And don't get me wrong. I mean, some you meet and you go, holy cow, this person was just blew me away. You know, like Rick, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, it's just very normal people
Well,
that's just following a plan.
and even Rick, man, he is humble and is down to
Oh,
earth
yeah.
and is they get. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. But you got to kind of know your strategy.
Yeah.
So if you're a leader, look at your sales strategy, your recruiting strategy, your marketing strategy, and there are several others, and then get it executed consistently.
Hmm.
And if you do that, I mean, you'll adjust them from time to time, but
Hmm.
if you do that, you can grow dramatically. We've seen great increases with our folks in our coaching.
Hey, Kevin, if somebody wants to reach out to find more about the way that you help branch managers and company owners and you know top producers, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Just go to profitdrivenplan.com. Again, profitdrivenplan.com, and they can schedule a call with myself or Kristen or somebody will help them, and we'll even give them a couple ideas just that they
What
can go ahead and implement and start improving their business with.
profitdrivenplan.com. Cool. All right, man. We good?
Yeah, very good. Hey, it's always good to spend time with you.
Always good hanging out with you too, my brother. I appreciate you. We'll see you, Kevin.
Okay, see you, Carl. Thanks.